Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Guile here, and welcome back to another Supreme Commander epic on Setons. It's a bit of Setons clutch to welcome in, not the post-Christmas period, not the New Year, but the post-Easter period, which isn't really a thing. Sorry, it was quite a long break there, wasn't there, over the whole Easter holidays, but I'm back now, returning once again to grace your screens, your mobile phones, your laptops, whatever it may be, your device of choosing, to bring you some massive metal monster mayhem in the shape of Supreme Commander business. We've got a full eclectic mix of pros and more pros. No Joe business today. These are the real McCoy. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top, and this Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1, rearguard air position, if there is such a thing, in Halliborange Orange. Going UEF, it's Gumlow. He is going first land. Team member number 2 for Team 1 down here at the cliffs in electric blue. It is Silent Bug, our first Aeon of the day. He's going first land and then what looks like double second air. At the causeway for Team 1, already with a couple of labs in play, making their way down towards the opponent's side of the map. It is Johann W. Schmidt. He's going UEF, sensible for that position, opening first land, I presume, and then second air. And last but not least, for Team 1 in this season's fabulous Vivacious Violet, it is Zoom, going Seraphim, opening first air. So 2 UEF, an Aeon, and a Seraphim there for Team 1. Checking out Team 2, already leaving the rearguard position, going Cybrin, our first of the day. It is Nuggets in Fecal Brown. There he is, plopping his way towards the center there, and he opened first land. Over at the cliffs for Team 2 in Breast Cancer Awareness Pink, we have Sains. And Sains is also going Cybrin, going first land, second air. At the causeway, having already suffered a little bit of pew-pew, I think. I heard some mech marine fire come from this direction. But, yeah, I'm not seeing any wrecks. Sounds like they picked off an engineer or something, but maybe I imagined it. But anyway, sorry, at the causeway, it is Delhi, another Cybrin, this time at combat green. There's a theme here. And he, I presume, opened first land. Yes, he did. Almost land all day. We have got a saucy little air factory planned in there. Mech Marines finally making contact to run into hostile labs who have managed to pick them off. Mole in play there, giving them a good read intel-wise. And then last but not least, over at the beach in the lime green, another Cybrin. Could you believe it? It is a Cybrin full house. Leaving to support the central player, it's, oh god, Viatom. Sounds like Viacom, but it's not. It's Viacom. Or is it Viatom? Either way, there they go, marching their way towards the middle. And he opened first land, second air there next to the Hydro. So an all Cybrin affair there for Team 2. Game quality at 93%, we're happy with that. We've already got some T1 bomber business going off by the looks of things, and that would be over at the Cliffside Team 2 base. Bomber courtesy of Schmidt on the causeway, just going after the T1 P-Gens here and managing to bag 3 of them and nearly damage, or nearly kill, sorry, a 4th. Next bombing run might finish it off. Little wayward going for these instead. How is this affecting Sains' power balance? Well, he is negative net power. If it goes on for too much longer, it could really slow him up. There goes another 2 reactors and one of the core mass. Minus net 120 negative power. Fluctuating to and from. But we do now have a few interceptors in play from Sains himself. Battling away with interceptors being flown in to support that bombing raid by Zoom from the beach up here. So there we have it. What's going on over here? So it looks like we've got a little bit of a steal attempt underway, but it's going to be unsuccessful. Viatom sending some troops via Skyhook towards the side island, which already has engineers on the ground working on infrastructure, but crucially interceptors guarding against just such a move. We have spy planes or scout planes out, which I guess got the read on that transport, which alerted these interceptors to the threat so they could deny. Let's check in on the fabulous combat going down in the center of the map. We haven't had a chance to look at that. Usually that's our first port of call, but Schmidt taking a battering here and not not in a good way, into the red. 2,500 is going to have to get himself into the ocean before he gets killed off inside the first 6 minutes here. Just gets himself below the waves, but a mere 15 or 1,300 hit points left on the chassis, and then Zoom shows up, and now he's all by his lonesome. Delhi and Viatom still in pretty darn good shape here. They're going to be able to push Zoom off to the other side, I think, keeping these comms split. But of course, if Zoom is hovering, he might be able to bag some of these Salem wrecks, which there's still a decent amount of mass to be harvested. The lion's share, though, as we've been through this many times, is in the sheer number of T3 wrecks strewn about the place in the center. Schmidt not going to give up on those. He's going to move in and try and bag some of that mass. Does have to be careful, though. Viatom, that's his position. You can see his field of view here. He's rediscovered Schmidt, trying to be cheeky, and is going to try and shoo him back off the causeway. Schmidt has to be really careful here. He is sub 800 hit points, sub 700, sub 600. Let's go back to Observer. OM goodness, 300 odd hit points left before he gets back into the safety of the deep. That was very, very close indeed. Team 1 nearly going down a man early doors there. And indeed, Zoom is trying to snag some of that Salem wreckage, so he can provide something for his team at least. But now he's got to be careful. He's down to 3,400 hit points, taking fire from Delhi's comm, and this horde of Medusas parked just a stone's throw away further to the south. Now, has the side island be taken over on the left-hand side? Not yet. Sane's a little slow to get a transport out. Of course, he was hampered by that early bombing raid right at the outset from Schmidt. Lost a few T1 gens. How is his eco balance looking now? Well, it's tight, but he's positive. That's the important thing. Needs to get himself a transport in play, though, or risk losing this altogether. You can see we've already got a play underway from Zoom, but I think it's been spotted by this T1 bomber. So there are indeed interceptors en route. These 3 engineers unlucky to make landfall at the island unless they are offloaded right this second. And he waited just a little too long to execute an unload command. And as such, Team 2 save that side island from being usurped. Nicely done there. We now have 3 comms on the causeway from Team 2. This is a real strength for them right now, pushing the opposing 2 further back up the causeway and grabbing the initiative in the center of the map. Not always something that's make or break for this style of games, as we know by now at this point, but it's not too bad for grabbing a little bit of early map control in the beginning of the game. Doesn't hurt, as they say. Right, we didn't really get a chance to talk about our players' ratings. We've got a couple of 1600s on Team 2 and a couple of 2100s on Team 2. Delhi and Nuggets are the players to watch out for there. That is the causeway player in the center and also the air player. So that is their strength. Have we got a mirror image in terms of strength for Team 1? Gumlo handling air. He's 2000 rated. And then we've got a 1900 at the cliffs and another 1900 in Schmidt on the causeway. I mean, 1700 is never really a weak link, but slightly weaker than the rest on Team 1 over at the beach. So this is potentially something they'd like to take advantage of, from Team 2's perspective. The only problem being is that Sainz is a 1600. So they're not going to win probably on paper in either of the ponds, just purely based on the capabilities, potentially on paper, of the 2 naval players. But they're going to have some assistance, hopefully, from Nuggets with some crucial airplay. Maybe that will make the difference. T2 done for Schmidt. That will have replenished a decent chunk of HP. He's now on 4,500 hit points and busily working on some tactical missile defense. He's probably thinking more defensively now, having lost the center. Just wants to make sure that this portion of the map is sealed off from any potential further encroachment from Team 2. What have we got on here? That looks like a mini little horde of gunships inbound from Silent Bug, making its way down to this sort of position. Maybe going to go after either the easy slim pickings, or the low-hanging fruit, I should say, not slim pickings, of the bottom cliffs right down here, or going straight after the naval yards, trying to initiate a naval shutout. There are some interceptors in play, which could cause them some problems. Going straight after the resourcing options, as it seems initially. One T2 mech's down and out right at the outset. They discover a beach-based anti-air turret, take that down. But not a lot of real solid focus here. I'm going to switch onto the core mass now. I think that would be a better idea. Let's take a look at things from Viatom's perspective. He is now pulling in 61 mass per tick. He's lost 2 T2 mexes. He's about to lose a third. There it goes. And by the looks of things, he isn't going to be able to save the remaining 2 either. He is pumping out Sky Slammers to try and combat this. There's still a lot of hit points on the remaining 3 T2 gunships here, down to just 1 core mass point. There goes another gunship. 2 Spectres remain. They switch up target. And I think he's going to be able to hang on to that last T2 mechs. But what has that done? That's brought him down to 50 mass per tick. He's now short-stacked compared to the rest of the field on mass earnings. Oh, another T2 mechs down to just 20 hit points. One more volley will do it. There it goes. Now sub 50, down to 45 mass per tick. And he's still got 1 gunship, albeit 1 very badly damaged one remaining. I love the updated attack in triplicate on Spectres these days. Acting as a nice little AoE. Catching 3 engineers in a single volley. Could he bag yet another one? Viatom suffering a bit here. More gunships en route all the time. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of forward motion on the causeway. Delhi advancing up towards Schmidt, who's backing up further in response. He has got Zoom nearby for a little bit of support if he needs it. What have we got on board this commander? 1 gun upgrade and stealth upgrade. And he's bringing up some engineers with him to provide some reinforcement points. Starting work on a land and an air factory. That air factory is a curious decision. Corsairs bombing away, trying to soften up these inbound units. Did he get that mechs? He did get that mechs. Delhi. That's Viacom. Sorry, Viacom. I said it once and now my brain can't stop it. Viatom. Now down to 43 mass per tick. Took a real battering there. And that's going to be difficult now, keeping up with his cliff-based opponent on the other side in this bottom pond. Going to need a lot of assistance from Nuggets in the air position. Janus from Schmidt, along with a Spectre going after Delhi here. Delhi, who is more or less at full health, or was once the air assets were deployed. Still in the green, but backtracking nonetheless. And this will give Schmidt a little bit of breathing room. Zoom initiates a gun upgrade, 77% done there. To have a combination of a gun comm and a T2 comm. And T2 engineers also building a little pocket of triad point defense to solidify control around this main base. See, he really has invested pretty heavily in gunship Silent Bug. So he's not got the navy that he'd like to have at this position, whilst Viatom has been badly hit. Love to be sweeping in right now and overwhelming these 2 harbours, naval yards. But alas, doesn't have the assets in place. Has got 3 naval yards further back and has some engineers assisting them, but oh my goodness, nearly lost a comm there. Delhi under constant attack from those air units. The stealth protection just not working out. In some T1 bombers down to 190 hit points or so. Wow. Again, nearly loses it. Delhi duking left and right as he withdraws. Zoom advancing, sensing weakness here now, having completed that gun upgrade. Needs to be a little bit careful himself. He's still only in the yellow. He's got 8,200 hit points on the chassis. But at the very least, he can destroy this position, I think. Taking down those mobile missile launchers to begin with. Maybe he pushes as far as he likes and then takes care of these on his way back. He'd love to get in range of Delhi, but Delhi is repping up with that 30 hit point a second regen, and he's close to the water, so he can just dip into there for safety. Looks like that's what's on the agenda. Saucy little run by, though, from the first batch of Vipers. Schmidt trying to shadow these with his commander. Won't be able to keep up. Gets himself a Stinger to start tickling away at them, but there's still 5 more after that, albeit 1 or 2 partially or badly damaged. Engineers for Zoom get to work on a T1 point defense. Already taking fire, and that will be the end of that little threat. Didn't really materialize the way he would have wanted it. And Zoom, having repped up nicely. I'm wondering if he got himself a rank of vet. Comfortably in the green now at 11,300 hit points. And we never actually kept track of Sains's approach to the side island, but he did pick it up and has plenty of assets in place to defend it. Alright, I want to do a quick air check here. So, Nuggets with 32 air superiority fighters on the field for Team 2. Gumlo with 23. So, Team 2 are ahead in the air game now. Another run-by attempt up the causeway from Delhi. Again, it's essentially a Viper play, but this time we've got a handful of Sky Slammers to give them some protection against the gunships and the like. I think 2 from the first attack were never properly dispatched. And here they lurk in the center, causing a few problems. Trying to target a T2 mass extractor. Where are we in terms of eco? So in team totals, Team 1 are ahead by about 80 mass or so. That's not too bad. In total mass, they are up about 20k. We are 17 minutes into this game. All players still in situ, no casualties yet. Small advantage in the center for Team 2 and an advantage in the air. The 2 ponds are holding, no real winner either side. I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen Silent Bug able to capitalize more. I'm thinking he probably went for some harassment, trying to slow development up, and then has been focusing on eco. Let's compare the ecos of these two. So Silent Bug at 229 mass per tick and Viatom at 140. So he's still comfortably ahead. I am, of course, aware that the totals between the cliffs and the beach on both sides are not the same. I am, of course, also aware that I have forgotten which one has the advantage. Let's compare these two, which haven't been harassed. Zoom pulling in 147. Yeah, so the beach is definitely the lighter. But then, of course, Zoom is the slightly lower rated. But I think that's fair to say. I think the cliffs have the edge. That's what I was leaning on. Slightly more mass available to them. If I was a sensible person, I would count the mass points. But alas, that is not my style. Nice little mechs kill here. Engineers spamming together some T1 point defense. It's a new graphic I haven't seen. What on earth is that effect? Answers in the comment section below. And while you're down there, love, smash the old like button. Does wonders for my ego. Lord knows I need it. Especially after my golf round the other day. What is this? Saucy little cruiser up at the top left-hand corner belonging to Zoom. Making its way down here. Potentially going to cause some problems for some mexes with those pesky Seraphim cruise missiles. Sane's airdropping his comm. What's Gumlo asking for control over? The radar? No. Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe that's what he wanted. Sane's starting torpedo. So we've got nano repair underway for Nuggets, who already has torpedo, incidentally. And remember, this is an all-Cybran team on Team 2. So get enough comms together. That could really tip the balance if they've all got torpedo upgrades in one of the ponds. Maybe that's something they're postulating for a ploy or a play. There we go. Seraphim cruiser parked north of the island. 2 mechs is dead already. No tactical missile defense in place. Lovely return on investment. 1 asset committed, 1 cruiser for potentially 3 or 4 dead T2 mechs. Such damage. Sane's pulling in just 200 mass per tick after that attack. Frigates have been dispatched to take the cruiser down. Yeah, see, it never hurts. Just send in 1 little suicide unit to cause some problems. You'll slow up your opponent whilst at the same time usurping some of their APM to come and deal with your threat while you can focus on other things. Bunch of Barracudas now alongside these torpedo-equipped comms. That is a veritable swarm of torps causing problems for these Seraphim destroyers as they hightail it back to base. Could do with keeping the Barracudas close to the comms, ideally, whilst at the same time remembering that you don't want to get too detached from air cover. Sudden rush of torpedo bombers that you weren't expecting could end your game very, very quickly. What you really want is a bunch of aircraft carriers, but not quite at that stage yet. 22 minutes and 10 seconds in. Still at largely T2 naval power. Do we have any T3s yet? Not even working on them for Team 2. Nor by the looks of things for Team 1. Yeah, we're all still just pumping out T2 vessels. But it's not a surprise. We're still developing mass points to T3. We've got core T3 mechs here, but some T2 still dotted around. ARAS on the way for Silent Bug. That's his second upgrade after RAS. And it is now 1k versus 959 in terms of team totals, or 1.2k, or is that reclaim related? That jumped, I guess, after Silent Bug completed his upgrade. Silent Bug now pulling in 494. He's ecoing pretty hard here. And once he gets going, Viatom could have a problem. He's at 223 versus 493. Holding this bottom pond could be interesting. These Torp comms might have to switch ponds to assist with the lower pond defense. Viatom forward base for Schmidt. Nice little fire base here. Needs a little extra shielding, which is what he's working on. And then it could also do with some clink hammers in there, a little bit of artillery support to give himself a wider berth. Be able to fire away on this cruiser, for instance. That's if he can, with a mermaid there. What can Schmidt see? Yeah, he can see it just fine. You also see these bricks just strolling in through the front door. Firebase not as nasty as all that. Delhi in tow. taking some fire, but he's got the nano repair, 80 hit point a second regen. That forward fire base utterly dispatched. How frustrating, just when it felt like Schmidt was getting something done, he's knocked right back again. Team 2 playing it well here, not letting him get established, making investments, recent investments, null and void. How are we looking on combat efficiency? Well, that's a classic story. An even game when one team is ecoing harder, the other team is being more combat efficient, and that's exactly what we have. It is 1.3 to 0.8 in favor of Team 2. I want to get a quick look at these air numbers now. Two pretty sizable air forces. So, we've got 120 fighters on Nugget side for Team 2. Gumlo with 190. Plus 8 that are low on fuel. Setons working on a T2 torpedo launcher to help solidify this position. Delhi still on the move here. Advancing up with these bricks and these bangers. Forward shield gens being produced to try and defend the main base. Gives his comm a little bit of coverage up front. But there is no standing Percival army lying in wait to try and repel these bricks. Schmidt a little bit outmatched here against Delhi, who continues to advance. Spy plane in over the top from Nuggets to get a full read on things. The front line of the main base absolutely ruined here. This is less than ideal. Transport hovering overhead. Is he going to try and evac his commander? Air coverage brought in. We need to be very careful with that, though. Look, we've got bouncers in here as well now, not just flak. He's got the comm on board and is going to fly right over the top of the bouncers. Why? What happened? What was the play? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Did he not see the T3 anti-air, the bouncers? Boy, really need to see the replay. I mean, yeah, here you go. It's right here. I don't understand what the play was there. I assumed, I mean, was he going on the offensive with that? Was he going to try and drop somewhere? That's pretty risky. Of how I bombed all Saints' energy at the start and it came to nothing. I mean, you guys haven't really, Team 2, or Team 1, sorry, haven't been pushing the ponds. They had a good start. You guys are still ahead on Eco, albeit only by about 100 mass. But there hasn't been a lot of forward momentum. We do have a nice advantage in the bottom pond in terms of tech. We've got T2 Salems here pushing against Omen-class battleships. They're going to take out a few engineers here and there, but this is all going to get wiped. Question is, will Team 1 do anything with it? Silent Bug has been silently ecoing, and his eco far outstrips everybody else's, pulling in 600 mass per tick. And Team 1 still ahead despite the total loss pretty much of Schmidt. We've got a couple of mass points that belong to him, or one functioning mass point and a couple of T2 reactors that have gone to Gumlo. But otherwise, despite being down a player, they're still up 100 mass. Big air fight going down over the center, and that's gone really well for Gumlo on Team 1. That is the almost total obliteration of Team 2's Air Force, and a Control K on the remaining fighters. I don't really think that's necessary. What, are you worried about veterancy there on individual fighters? Don't really see the need for that. Well, that was these, I suppose, the micro win that Team 1 needed after losing their Causeway player in unfortunate fashion. Silent Bug sending in engineers right now to cannibalize this base, but they're going to run right into an encroaching brick wall. Switch it up and start working on some point defense, which they'll be able to build very quickly, unfortunately in a position that's so poorly defined. It's going to offer no protection whatsoever. All engineers dead. No defensive measures enabled. Janus peppering these bricks now. Look at this, we've got forward land factories set up at Team 1's end of the causeway. Can you give me some mass zoom? Why, Gumlo? What are you building? It's working on a Fat Boy. Presumably would like to utilize that to try and prevent Delhi from pushing out of the causeway. Try and park it down here and wipe this. Start to bring this little battle away from sensitive areas in Team 1's territory. Can't blame him. Getting himself a T3 engineering suite as well at the same time. Gumlo currently pulling in 412 mass per tick. His opponent Nuggets pulling in just 345. I would like to take a look at numbers of T3 factories. He's got 19 in there. Nuggets has nowhere near that. No, he's got more. He's got 20. I'm sorry, look, I didn't see this. There's a whole bit in the middle. So, pretty even on air factory numbers. And Nugget's doing a good job of resurrecting his air force from the dead. Back up to 102 fighters. Gumlo has 250 though, and on top of that has 20 broadsides. Broadsides. Where's that going? Doesn't want to get them shot down. Is he going to go for another attempt at some house cleaning here on the opposing air force? Maybe. Broadswords going after the Salems. Once they get in range and all open up, they should be able to chew through these pretty damn quick. Concerned about the flak coming off those cruisers, no doubt. He's going to pull away. Some interceptors giving chase. They might want to dispatch a small number of ASFs to deal with them, or the entire Air Force. It's up to you, really. Kaflui. Gunships now safe. Wow, okay. So, turns out the Fat Boy wasn't required to come and seal this. It was just the outrageous fleet of Omens that could get the job done. We've also got a simultaneous push from the Seraphim Navy of Zoom down the inside. This one's sub-heavy going after battleships. We've got crossfire coming from the Omens on the other side. But now we've got a whole fleet of Barracudas making life difficult for these Omens. Just don't have the capabilities to fight back against hordes and hordes of submarines. It's a nice play from Viatom. What we really need, or what Team 1 really needs, is a wave of torp bombers to try and assist these battleships right now. Cloaking upgrade on the way for Delhi. That's just been initiated. 34 minutes into this one. Not a lot in the way of standoff tactics developing. I can't see any artillery pieces, any strategic missile silos. It all seems to be very conventional at 34 minutes, at least on Team 2's side. Perhaps we have some more standoffy stuff materializing on this side of things. Mass support commanders on the way for Silent Bug. Not happy with his 800 to 950 mass per tick that he's pulling in. It's not enough. I want more, said Noel Gallagher. Look it up. And he is pumping out RAS preset support commanders. How many has he got so far, I wonder? Oh, goodness. Well, no wonder that's skyrocketing. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. They've got to find a way to neutralize Silent Bug, because at this rate, it's not going to matter how well they're doing at any other position on the field. If you're allowing someone to eco this hard, you're just not going to be able to keep up with them. It's now 1.8k to 1.5k. The map control hasn't changed in any meaningful way. The opposing team starting to accelerate. Of course, they don't know that. We have the benefit of these tools. They don't, but they're going to have to get something done. Put some pressure on Bug, because he is macroing like a boss. And that is how you win these long team games. Sheer economics. Three Galaxy-class battleships remaining to defend these 4 shipyards. This does not look good in the bottom pond for Team 2. Sains, oh, we are all Cybran. Yes, yes you are. Delhi, cloaking done, starting laser. Here we go. Here we go. The lasers are coming out to play. Mass torp bombers brought out. I wonder how they managed to deal with all of the Barracudas. I suppose we've got a lot of Exodus class destroyers in here now, so they were probably constructed to deal with the sub threat. Most of the Omens have actually gone down. Just 2 of them remaining. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to succeed with this little conquest. These 2 Omens are beaten up. There goes another one. We've got torp bombers swarming the skies above them. Not long before we have yet another Galaxy that's complete. Actually, might have been more effective if they had gone after all the engineers and all of the naval yards. What are the support commanders up to? Are they just hoovering up the mass? It looks like it. Mass T1 naval spam potentially in play, although I think they're just pumping out engineers right now. Indeed they are. Looks that way. Torp bombers recognizing the RAS preset comms and going after those. Would be nice to scout for what Nugget is doing, says Schmidt. I can tell you what Nugget's doing. You won't be able to hear me, but I'll mention it nonetheless. Nugget seems to be building planes. He's got himself a strategic missile defense. But otherwise, it's planes, power, and mass. Nothing of any other import, by the looks of things. 2.3 million mass harvested now by Team 1 versus 1.92 harvested by Team 2. That's wise. Focus down these shipyards. Get this shipyard above all else. That's what they need to do. What's going on up here? So, the Cloaky Mazacom Delhi has been offloaded to the top of the screen and is currently marching in towards the beach. Now, where is Zoom's comm? Zoom currently underwater, so he's safe from potential attack now. Where's that nuke come from? Is that land-based? Indeed it is. There I was saying we didn't have any standoff tactics building. Gumlo had other plans. Silo based in the middle of Team 1's territory. Launches at maybe the central causeway area. Is that going to pack the most punch? It might just be the one area that's not protected by SMD. And there it turns. It is indeed going after Delhi's main base. And that's going to tear a ruddy great hole in it. And we've got another laser now starting for Viatom this time. Why is it taking me there? I'm clicking on Viatom starting laser. Viatom is not there. Viatom is over here. A little bit strange. And there it is. We're getting a teleportation jobby. So this is the problem. When you've got an all-Cybran team, they could all potentially go for this. So you've got to be on your guard. Comms in the water here and here. And Gumlo's there. So they are all safe in that respect. But their bases are not. Zoom soon to emerge. And maybe to go after that. I want to keep my eye as well. I'm going to have to go to split screen to keep an eye on these two things. Also, we've just had another nuke, and that one is going south to north. Gumlo in transit there with his commander. Where's that going? That's going on the causeway. Oh, it's going to kill a whole load of mass farms. And Silent Bug, up until that nuke, was pulling in 1.8k. That drops to 1.6. Delhi has made landfall. Viatom charging. He's going straight for a tele attack. Where's he going with it, though? I don't know. It'll be somewhere in here. Most damage would be the air production facilities. Delhi, is he on hold fire, or is he going to open up? Is he just going to try and push deep? Gumlo has offloaded his comm, but then picked it up on board the Continental. I'm guessing this is really tough. I don't want to miss out on whatever action's going to transpire here. Oh, is he gone? I think he's gone. And I don't know where he's gone. Apologies for missing it. I'm just guessing. Or did he cancel? Who can say is the question. Oh, he's gone there. What a massive anticlimax, but he is teleporting again. Where to is the question. Delhi still on hold fire. Cloaky marching his way. Try and... There he is. He was going after the air facilities. He says screw that shield gen in particular. Going after the reactors. Bit of a chain reaction. Not all that, but he might get a proper chain in a sec. Engineers hurriedly working on point defense. He's going to turn his attention to those. He could dish out an awful lot of damage here, but he could also get mobbed by an air force at any moment. He must be wanting to think about his exit strategy as soon as possible, otherwise he's going to get killed off here. It's a tough balance to strike. Wanting to kill off as many of these factories as possible. And he's doing a pretty damn good job, I think it's fair to say. Gumlo picking up his commander in that Continental, but he's got no power to power the shields. But if you can get it right out of dodge, it won't be such a bad thing. Proper chain reaction. That's a fantastic attacks so far. However, he needs to be extracting like yesterday. He has definitely overstayed his welcome. He is not going to get out. He's starting it. He is starting it, but he's not going to make it. That was pure greed right there. And down he goes. So we've got a base trade for a comm trade. Delhi, meanwhile, still alive, very much so. Stomping his way through Team 1's territory. By the way, is this new? I don't remember Setons having this little path up here. I feel like that's an addition. The 2020 edition. Oh my goodness! Zum has been picked off by Nuggets in what must have been a strap bomb raid. You can see Gumlo trying to monitor for that with his air force, shooting down, I'm guessing, the strats. But now Zum's gone out. So this has been a punishing period of play for Team 1. They've lost air production. They've lost a player. Delhi now kills off the nuke, but he's been discovered. Spy planes will no doubt be keeping an eye on his location. He's not getting out of here. I would be very surprised if he makes it. Absolutely fascinating. Fantastic play, I'm presuming, by Nuggets to finish off Zoom. I thought Zoom was going to die to Delhi. That's why I thought he was going to bring his comm in here and wait for an opportunity. But this has been dangerous, dangerous stuff. The assets of Viatom have gone to Delhi, but the coastal positions have been destroyed, and you feel like it's only a matter of time till Silent Bug invades the beaches. Cloak still doing its magic, and Gumlo having to ground fire with gunships. He's going to bring in his commander to help discover that. What the hell? Oh, is he going to get it? Oh, no! He control K'd his comm. Has he got the Continental? He has got the Continental! Oh my god! Gumlo using his comm as a discovery tool, I guess, to try and get eyes on it. He manages to do it, but Delhi says nope. He commits suicide, uses the extra potency in his explosion of going critical to take down the Continental, and with it, Gumlo. It's now a 1v2 Silent Bug. It's all on his shoulders versus Nuggets and Sains. Sains kind of looking like he's advancing in the top pond, maybe. We have got a number of sub-hunters growing here, but look at the difference in eco now. 3k to 1.9k. And there's only more and more support commanders being produced. He's got three quantum... I can't even speak. 3 quantum gateways pumping out RAS-enabled support commanders. I don't see how Team 2 close it out at this point unless they manage to get busy with some game enders and get a little bit lucky. But this is going to be a huge investment. And while they're committing those resources, they're only going to be missed elsewhere. Actually surprised we're not seeing game enders emerge from Silent Bug, but he's just been ecoing so hard. Obviously a lot of these are now inherited up here, but lion's share of things. 3.3k now. It's just growing seemingly exponentially. 47.5 minutes gone. We do have support commanders for Team 2, and these are RAS preset for Sains. Sains pulling in 1.3k compared to Nuggets 948. They are just an absolute must. You have to. You're playing a long game on a map that produces epics routinely. You have to have support commanders as part of your game plan, because you will just fall behind. And look at this now. Tempest-class battleships planned for construction. Can they secure these waterways, though, for long enough to build them? That's the question. There's a lot of battleships arrayed here, and I know I was talking about those sub-hunters, but we really don't have enough of these sub-hunters to chew through these battleships in a timely fashion. And would you look at where all the ordnance is going, directed straight at the naval yards. I almost wonder if it wouldn't be better to just do exactly this. Yeah. Build a whole load of artillery on the cliffs. Because this is going to be tough to get this completed. You build just rows and rows of artillery up here. Make this whole area a no-go zone. And I say this whole area, I mean that's as far as they reach. There's nothing to stop these battleships from sitting up here. Couldn't hurt to get a few shields in play as well, since this has now been discovered. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, he might have all the eco in the world, but he's struggling to contain this problem in the top pond. Silent just likes making the game longer, says Johan from Beyond the Grain. One could say with Schmidt's play early on that Schmidt just likes making the game shorter. A little bit of touche there, but I still would like... Schmidt, if you're watching, I would dearly love to know what the thought was behind that play. So if you could drop it in the comments section below, I would be most grateful. I just want to know what the thought process was. Could it have been a misclick? Could you not have seen the flak? Maybe that was the problem. Were you going on the attack for a saucy drop? Let us know, brother. "50 minutes gone, and entering what feels like potentially a slightly stagnant phase. We have got forward motion in the top pond, and it looks like pure conquest at this point. These battleships and frigates are now right up against the beach, and all of this infrastructure is now in jeopardy. The attempt was a valiant one at getting some ridgeline artillery batteries, but couldn't get them secured. Interesting. Now, he's put this together pretty quick, because I was looking for some standoff developments. A rapid-fire artillery materializing in the main base of Silent. And his priority target at the moment seems to be the main base of Setons. I wonder if he is unaware of that. Oh, well, he's sending nukes in the right direction.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected.
There's a ping down there. He knows something is happening. Goodness me, that must be a lot of sub-based nukes. Indeed it is. Nuclear submarines in a mass-scale launch. Oh, wow, and it's going to hit a lot of support commanders also. And actually, he already got that up. Scath is up to about 60%. You can see he's paused all production. He's like, that's not getting out of there. Oh, and that was Saint's comm. Saint's comm was standing there. I didn't even realise because there were so many support commanders. I saw the missiles coming down. It's like, oh, I can see Saint's name. It's now 1v1. Saint? He passed away. I love it. I love it. I mean, passed away, that's what you say about someone when they go in their bed at the age of 98 or younger. But not generally people who are incinerated in nuclear fire. But he's not with us nonetheless, and neither is that Scathis. So now we just have... No, we don't. He's rebuilding it. What the hell happened there? We must have had a strat bomber attack whilst I was mesmerized by the nuclear attack down here. We must have had another strat bomber attack from Nuggets that took care of the salvation. So still we don't have a standoff advantage on one side or the other. We've got some attack pings going down on top of Silent Bug's comm as the spy planes have revealed his location. We don't have mass waves of torp bombers though. Is he close enough to the edge to get caught? It's pretty deep. I don't know. Don't think strat bombers are going to be able to get him there. Saucy little bug.
Strategic launch detected.
Causing a few problems. Nice air battle ensues. Looks like silent bug going straight after the hostile bug. Going to lose his air force in the process and not manage to shoot the puppy down. That's going to survive with 15,000 HP. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, so that's how he's going to rescue the situation at the beach. He has built a bajillion land factories and is going full Zooey spam. 233 Zooies now pouring into the bay. Outrageous. But he's rebuilt the Salvation and is now going to try and pick Nuggets apart. He's not trying to pick apart, Guile. He's trying to pick him apart. Words are hard. This is what happens when I go away for Easter, consume nothing but chocolate, and get out of the habit of casting. Start to lose my flow. Now you can't tell me it's not effective, because it is effective. He's going to start taking down battleships with this. The Zooey spam is real. Is he going to have to bring those out, I wonder? The nuke, the latest nuke from, I'm guessing, the sub-nukes, the sub-launchers, has taken out some more infrastructure on the causeway as those land. Okay, so we rebuild a third time, says Schmidt. And those air production facilities completely unshielded. Nice chain reaction there. Ugh. But look at this invasion underway. And look at all the harbingers that are just being spammed out. Eco-wise, it's 3.8k to 1.6k.
Strategic launch detected.
I'm surprised he's not investing more in air production as well. This is the one tool that Nuggets has had. Has been those strat bombers. If you neutralize that, he'd have nothing. Silent needs to get to 5,000 mass before he starts playing to win. Until then, he's ecoing. I mean, it's been effective, right? More nukes land. And he's currently tearing Nuggets apart. He's invading down here. He is pacifying everything in this area with ridiculous amounts of Zooey spam. Not so much effective. Wreckage is overkilled, says Sains.
Strategic launch detected.
Salvation was just more effective mass storage.
Strategic launch detected.
I see what he was getting at.
Launch detected.
Yeah, this looks pretty over at this point. Silent bug for the carry. There's not going to be much of a mystery about who gets MVP in this one. I know it's all down to somebody who stood off, ecoed harder, but that's a plane in itself, and it's working. Another Scathis under construction here. 30% done there. They save it from an inbound nuke, but everything else around it is getting picked apart by these sub-nukes. And look at this expanding wall of Zooey spam. Team 2 utterly doomed at this point. That's the view from Nuggets. Not a pretty one. He's got no method of comeback in here. He's now down to 1.1k, facing off against 4k.
Strategic launch detected.
Ouch. Down to 1k now. Plummeting all the time. All of the infrastructure on the south side of his island is dead. He's going to get nuked into oblivion by these submarines. Has one new anti-nuke left in there. Does he have another silo protecting this area? He cannot afford for that to get nuked. He has another one here that's currently empty. He's got another one here that's currently empty. These are close, though, to completing a new missile. 3 monkey lords have made their way to the bottom. They've killed off a whole load of factories on their way through here, which has really slowed up, tempered the amount of Harbinger spam. He's managed to get a monkey lord up the causeway, and he's trying to get it into the main base. I think he's taken down the Salvation again with repeated attacks. You can hear the people screaming through the ether at me in the comment section right now. You're missing these attacks. Well, it can't be everywhere, I'm afraid. Another Salvation there. He's got so much build power. He's got so much eco. It's just going to be impossible to take him out. Another wave of strat bombers. Stealth is on, which is really what's been helping him. Looks like he's going after the strategic missile defense. Is that the only one covering this area? I would be surprised if it was this stage in the game. That's all he had. Down
Strategic
goes
launch detected.
another monkey lord, and we've got 4 nuke subs here
Strategic
launching a
launch
combined volley at this position. Is that all we've got? We've got this is fully loaded at 7.
Strategic launch detected.
Now we'll see how many we've got. 1, 2,
Strategic launch
3,
detected.
4.
Strategic
That is the
launch
only
detected.
silo in this area. 5.
Strategic launch detected.
Lots of nukes coming out of here now. What is
Strategic launch detected.
this position? Work has
Strategic launch
almost nearly
detected.
stopped down here on that Scathis. Monkey Lord making its way
Strategic
underwater
launch detected.
up to this position. And would you look at the Salvation fire now raining down. The nukes aren't going to need to get it. The Salvation has done the job. Look at that. Zooey spam penetrating ever deeper. A navy in the top pond has essentially been wiped out at this point. And Nugget's sphere of influence is now almost entirely just Saints' old base. 1 or 2 structures here and there, but it's now 4.2k versus 860. That's insane. And all without a Paragon, unless I've missed one somewhere, but I mean, I guess he doesn't need it. Let's have a look at how many support commanders he's got.
Commander under attack.
He's got 239 support commanders. That is outrageous. More nukes landing all the time. This game is so over, it's unreal. Literally no mainland base left. What was that? Some strange misfire of an anti-nuke. Make teleport into Nuggets. Into Silent Saints meant. Where is Nuggets as com? Yeah, where is he? Oh, there he is. He has got the teleporter and he has got the laser. It is a 1v1. Where, though, is the commander? If he's got any sense, he'll be in the water somewhere where that laser's going to have no effect.
Commander under attack.
There he is. Oh, wow. Well, he's actually right by a Monkey Lord that has torpedoes. But there are lots of support commands nearby that could just spam up a ton of torp launchers. Trying to deal with this bug at the moment. That's what the SAM sites are for. This is a little scary right now. Aha, there are the torpedo launchers. Silent Bug does have personal shields. It's got 25,000 hit points on that, then the 14,000 hit points on the chassis. Really, you see, if he just had some interceptors, or some fighters, sorry, he could finish off that bug. There are torpedo bombers here. Oh my god, would this be the turnaround of the century if they could pick him off with torp bombers right here. The bug goes down. The Monkey Lord
Strategic
is
launch.
still alive.
Strategic launch detected.
He's trying to nuke him
Strategic launch detected.
from over this way. That would be unreal. If we lose this. Yeah, really. Silent bug. There's a lot of nukes coming your way. Is the ocean deep enough? Are you far enough away? Oh my god, I can't see. I can't see. This thing's going up. Are you for real? Are you for real? He says ACU won't move. Dude. I don't buy that. Why throw... I mean... Just wow. Just wow. I don't think I've ever seen a game more over than this. I can't believe that. I really can't believe it. That's actually insane. That's actually insane. He had so much eco. He had complete map control. And he just got cornered by... I mean, great work. There I was saying MVP to Silent Bug. And I wanted to give it to him because, let's face it, he basically crushed the entirety of Team 2. But, I mean, it has to be Nuggets with that play. He was dead in the water. And he took out Zoom. Who took out Gumlo? How did Gumlo die? Oh, he died to Delhi with the Control K. And, of course, Schmidt died. We're not sure why he died, but he died over here in his... But two of them died in transports on Team 1 today in Continentals that just couldn't get them to safety. But, wow. Just wow. Unbelievable. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please do check out my Patreon. It's a mere $1 a month. We've got some 140-something casts on there, all free of ads, and it really does help. Do check that out. More to come from me in the future. We're going to have some more regular programming returning now. We're out of the holidays, which is great. My difficulties getting recordings done disappears when the little angels are back at school. So thank you for watching, and until next time, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.